maca powder and chia seeds. Can you put that in a protein shake?
Yeah, that's what I do every morning. I do maca powder. I do all the berries, the banana. I do the protein. I do the chia seeds and all this other these other things I have. It's called like it's just like a bunch of natural herbs like horny goatweed, tribulus terrestrius, like a bunch of things that lower your cortisol levels and boost your testosterone. Also, I got this in today. Right, this is my fasting pack. So I'm gonna go on a fast for 24 hours, probably starting tomorrow or tonight when I stop eating around like 8 o'clock, and I won't eat again. Damn, how am I gonna do this? I might stop eating now, and I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow. But basically, I got some organic coffee, right, that I can have while I'm fasting. It's like straight beans, so I gotta put it in the blender, crush them shits up, right? It's off Ben Greenfield's website. It's the keto. And then you can take these while you're fasting too. They're amino acids. It's like 99.9% of the amino acids that you need in general, and fucking or that even like exist on Earth. And basically, like you can take these and they don't break your fast, but they keep your muscles like from diminishing while you're fasting. So it's key to use this while you're fasting and working out while you're fasting. You know what I mean? And I got this too, some Keon creatine. It's all plant-based, plant-derived stuff. And I also grabbed this book from Ben Greenfield too, Beyond Training. Shit looks fire. It's fat as hell, thick, bro. I'm excited.
Just the
I
way
got
you
some
like
food
them.
though. But yeah, so I'm about to just add that into the remedy. Oh yeah, I also got where the hell did I just put it? What's right now? Vitamin D and K2. Like drops. It almost looks like essential oil. Like I dropped that into my fucking table downstairs too. So it's like hair all over this fucking thing. God damn. Shit needs to be swept. But yeah, it almost looks like essential oil drops. So I just threw some of that creatine and some of this in here. You just drink it down. It has no flavor. So good stuff. Good stuff. And vitamin D and K2 are good for nitric oxide levels, which like boost, testosterone, boost sex drive. Vitamin D is good for, like actually keeping you healthy and from getting sick. So, really good stuff. But anyway, so KT, Kevin Trudeau, right? He suggests I think it's the 12th episode of Your Wish is Your Command. Also, I started listening to another one of his podcasts. It's like the debt cures that they don't want you to know about. This man's legit in jail right now, like for just like exposing the fuck out of the big pharma, like everything. So like he's got a book called Natural Cures I Don't Want You to Know About. And obviously y'all know this man was like a part of the like secret societies, the people who run the world and control all these things. And he just kind of like exposed everything. But anyway, I think it's the last one. Yeah, he talks about 12 books to get, because he also talks about in the first episode how like who do you listen to? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, yeah, Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, they have books, but they didn't actually write it themselves, or they didn't even read it themselves. They don't even know what's in it. You know what I mean? So it's like he knows like where the good information is, and he's grown up with this information. So basically, I got the list. And also I have every single one of the books here, and I was kind of slacking on starting it because I was reading a bunch of other books, but I decided to make the decision to drop everything I was doing and just be coachable and start reading the books that he suggests. And the first one's The Magic of Thinking Big, which is what I'm going to go over, like the first two chapters real quick today. And the other one's See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. Actually, I started that one first because this one took like legit forever to come in. So I was like, I'm on like page 60 on See You at the Top. Then there's Asking It Is Given, The Secret, Psycho-Cybernetics, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Believing, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I'm almost done with, somewhere around here. The Go-Getter, very small book. The Power of Positive Thinking, The Game of Work, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Hung by the Tongue, The Tongue a Creative Force, and What You Say is What You Get. But yeah, so I started off reading, Magic of Thinking Big. That's what it looks like if y'all want to get it. You might even be able to find a PDF file or even the audio book or whatever. But basically, I'm gonna almost kind of like run this like a book club today. You know what I mean? So, let's drop some sauce real quick. So the first chapter is believe and you will succeed, or believe you can succeed and you will. So basically, some of the most practical success building wisdom is found in the Bible. Quotation that is stating that faith can move mountains. Really believe, and you can move a mountain, right? Not many people believe that they can move mountains, so as a result, not many people do. You can't wish away a mountain. You can't wish yourself into an executive suite, or nor can you wish yourself into a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house or a high income bracket, right? You can wish yourself into a position of leadership, but you can't move a mountain with belief. But you can move a mountain with belief. You can win success by believing you can succeed. Those who believe they can move mountains do. Those who believe they cannot. Belief triggers the power to do. Belief in success is the one basic, absolutely essential ingredient in successful people. It is well to respect the leader, learn from him, observe him, study him, but don't worship him, right? Believe that you can surpass, believe that you can go beyond the person that you're studying, right? So I've been studying, Nano, for a long time. He takes the weekends off. So, when I was thinking about, am I going to take the weekends off? I was like, nah, I got to work harder than this dude. He's a chairman 10, but I'll be chairman 25. So why am I going to let this dude work harder than me? You know what I mean? So that's why I made the decision that, no, I don't need to take off Saturday and Sunday to, just have some free time. Cause you know what I mean? That means my whole team's going to take it the same way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we can just take the weekends off. It's like living for the weekends again. That's the way I looked at it. You know what I mean? So believe that you can go beyond. All right. Others see in us what we see in ourselves. I don't even know why I highlighted that. To be honest with you. Believe in yourself. Believe you can succeed. Here are 3 guides to acquire and strengthen the power of belief. Think success, don't think failure. At work, in your home, substitute success thinking for failure thinking. When you face a difficult situation, think I'll win, not I'll probably lose. When you compete with someone else, think I'm equal to the best, not I'm outclassed. When opportunity appears, think I can do it, never I can't. Let the master thought I will succeed dominate your thinking process. Thinking success conditions your mind to create plans that produce success. Thinking failure does the exact opposite. Failure thinking conditions the mind to think other thoughts that produce failure. Second thing, remind yourself regularly that you are better than you think you are. Successful people are just ordinary folks who have developed belief in themselves, and they do what they do. Never sell yourself short. 3, believe big. The size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. All right, now we're going to get into chapter 2, the cure yourself of excusitis. It's the failure disease, right? As you think to yourself success, or as you think yourself to success, that's what you will study people. You will study people very carefully to discover, then apply success rewarding principles to your life. And you want to begin right away. Unsuccessful people suffer a mind deadening thought disease. We call this disease excusitis. Every failure has this disease in its advanced form, and most average persons have it in at least a mild case of it, right? You will find that the more successful the individual, the less inclined to make excuses. Once the victim of this failure disease has selected a good excuse, he sticks with it. Then he relies on the excuse to explain to himself and others why he's not going forward. And each time the victim makes the excuse becomes more embedded deeper within his subconsciousness. Thoughts, positive or negative, grow stronger when fertilized with constant repetition. At first, the victim of excusitis knows his alibi is more or less a lie, but the more frequently he repeats it, the more convinced he becomes that it is completely true. The alibi is the real reason for his not being successful as he should be. Excusitis appears in a wide variety of forms, but the worst types of these diseases are health excusitis, intelligence excusitis, and age excusitis and luck excusitis. Right now, let's see how we can protect ourselves from these four common ailments. Right, the four common forms of excusitis. But my health isn't good. Right, health excusitis ranges all the way from chronic I don't feel good to the more specific, I've got such and such wrong with me, right? Bad, quote unquote, bad health in 1,000 different forms is used as an excuse for failure to do what a person wants to do, failing to accept greater responsibilities, failing to make more money, failing to achieve more success. Millions and millions of people suffer from health excusitis, but it is in most cases a legitimate excuse. Think for a moment of all the highly successful people you know who could but who don't use health as an excuse. My physician, a surgeon friend, tells me the perfect specimen of adult life is non-existent. There is something physically wrong with everybody. Many surrender in whole or part to health excuses, but success-thinking people do not. Looking for an illness often actually produces illnesses. If you read Dr. Schneidler's great book, How to Live 365 Days a Year, Dr. Schneidler talks or shows in this book that 3 out of 4 hospital beds are occupied by people who have EII, emotionally induced illnesses. Imagine 3 out of 4 people who are sick right now would be well if they had learned how to handle their emotions. Read Dr. Schneidler's book and develop your programming for emotion management. Um, the third thing, I'd resolve to live until I die, right? I'm going to tell yourself every day, I'm going to live until I die, and I'm not going to get life and death confused. When I am on this earth, I'm going to live. Why be only half alive? Every minute a person spends worrying about dying is just 1 minute that fellow might as well just be dead, right? Let's see. I had a point. I had to leave at that point because I had to be on a plane for Detroit. On the plane, the second but much more pleasant experience occurred. After the noise of the takeoff, I heard a ticking sound. Rather startled, I glanced at the fellow sitting beside me, for the sound seemed to be coming from him. He smiled a big smile and said, "Oh, it's not a bomb. It's just my heart." I was obviously surprised, so he proceeded to tell me what had happened. Just 21 days before, he had undergone an operation which involved putting a plastic valve into his heart. The ticking sound, he explained, would continue for several months until new tissue had grown over the artificial valve. I asked him what he was going to do. He said, "I've got big plans. I'm going to study law when I get back to Minnesota. Someday I hope to be in government work. The doctors tell me I must take it easy for a few months, but after that, it'll be like new." There you have 2 ways of meeting health problems. The first fellow, not even sure he had anything organically wrong with him, was worried, depressed, and on the road to defeat, wanting someone to second his motion that he couldn't go forward. The second individual, after undergoing one of the most difficult of operations, was optimistic, eager to do something. The difference lay in how they thought towards health. I've had some very direct experience with health excusitis. I am a diabetic. Right after I discovered I had this ailment about 5,000 hypodermics ago, I was I was warned diabetes is a physical condition, but the biggest damage results from having a negative attitude towards it. I've gotten to know many of a great many other diabetics. Let me tell you about two extremes. One fellow has a very mild case to that fraternity of the living dead, obsessed with fear of the weather. He is usually ridiculously bundled up. He's afraid of infection, so he shuns anybody who has the slightest sniffle. He is afraid of exertion, so he does almost nothing. He spends most of his mental energy worrying about what might happen. He bores other people, telling them how awful his problem really is. His real ailment is not diabetes, rather, he's a victim of health excusitis. He has pitted himself into being an invalid. Okay, I guess that's the end of the sentence. The other extreme is a division manager for a large publishing company. He has a severe case. He takes about 30 times as much insulin as the fellow mentioned above, but he is not living to be sick. He is living to enjoy his work and have fun. One day he said to me, "Sure, it is an inconvenience, but so is shaving." Right? But I'm not going to think myself to bed when I take those shots. I just praise the guy who discovered insulin. Pretty sure my dad's allergic to insulin too, so I'll let Pippin in here. So my dad better fix his fucking appetite. Um, the right attitude and one arm will beat the. I'm not gonna go over that story too, but this dude has one arm. The right attitude and one arm will beat the wrong attitude and two arms every time. Right? Think about that for a while. It holds true not only on the golf course, but in every facet of life. Four things that you can do to lick health excusitis. The best vaccine against health excusitis consists of these four doses. Refuse to talk about your health. The more you talk about an ailment, even the common cold, the worse it seems to get. Talking about bad health is like putting fertilizer on weeds. Besides, talking about your health is a bad habit. It bores people. It makes one appear self-centered and old maidish. Success-minded people defeat the natural tendency to talk about their bad health. One may, and let me emphasize on the word may, get a little sympathy, but one doesn't get respect and loyalty by being a chronic complainer. Two, refuse to worry about your health. Dr. Walter Alvarez, emeritus consultant to the world famous Mayo Clinic, wrote recently, "I always beg warriors to exercise some self-control." Right? Three, be genuinely I don't want to go over that story. Three, be genuinely grateful that your health is as good as it is. There is an old saying worth repeating often. I felt sorry for myself because I had ragged shoes until I met a man who had no feet. Instead of complaining about not feeling good, it's far better to be glad that you are as healthy as you are. Just being grateful for the health you have is powerful vaccination against developing new aches, pains, and real illnesses. All right. Four, remind yourself often it's better to wear out than rust out. Life is yours to enjoy. Don't waste it. Don't pass it up by living thinking it to yourself into a hospital bed. Right. So the second um, excusitis disease is the intelligence excusitis. Right. But you've got to have brains to succeed, quote unquote. Right. I lack brains, quote unquote, is common. In fact, it is so common that perhaps many as 95% of the people around us have it in varying degrees. Unlike most other types of excuses, people suffering from this particular type of malady suffer in silence. Of this type of the malady suffer in silence. Not many people will admit openly that they think or that yeah, that they think they lack adequate intelligence, rather they feel it deep down inside. Most of us make two basic errors with respect to intelligence. One, we underestimate our own brain power, and two, we overestimate the other fellow's brain power. Because of these errors, many people sell themselves short. They fail to tackle challenging situations because it takes brain power, or it takes a brain, quote unquote, but along comes the fellow who isn't concerned about intelligence and he gets the job. What really matters is not how much intelligence you have, but how you use what you do have. The thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than the quantity of your brain power, right? Um, Let me say it again. The thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you may have, right? A child does not need a lightning fast mind to be a scientist, nor does he need a miraculous memory, nor is it necessary that he gets very high grades in school. The only point that counts is that the child have a high degree in the interest of science, right? Interest, enthusiasm is the critical factor in even science. With positive, optimistic, and cooperative attitude, a person with an IQ of 100 will earn more money, win more respect, and achieve more success than a negative, pessimistic, uncooperative individual with an IQ of 120. Because of the negative thinking that guides his reservoir of brains, this fellow contributes little and creates nothing. With a brains to be tremendous success, but the thought power. Remember the thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you have. Not even a PhD degree can override this basic success principle. Um, he had a story. Says several years ago, I became a close friend of Phil F., one of the senior officers of a manager advertising agency. Phil was a director of marketing research for the agency, and he was doing a bang up job. Was Phil a quote unquote brain? Far from it. Phil knew next to nothing about research technique. He knew next to nothing about statistics. He was not a college graduate, though all the people working for him were. And Phil did not pretend to know the technical side of research. What then enabled Phil to command 30 grand a year, while not one of his subordinates earned 10 grand a year? This Phil was a human, quote unquote, human engineer. Phil was 100% positive. Phil could inspire others when they felt low. Phil was enthusiastic. He generated enthusiasm. Phil understood people. And because he could really see what made them tick, he liked them. Phil's brain, not Phil's brains, but how he managed those brains made him 3 times more valuable to his company than the men who rated higher on the IQ scale. The difference in the very successful and the very unsuccessful finally reduced to the differences in attitude, or the difference in thought management. We often hear that knowledge is power, but this statement is only the half truth. Knowledge is only potential power. Knowledge is only power when you put it to use, and then only when the use is made of it is constructive, right? The great scientist Edison, or Einstein, my fault, was once asked how many feet are in a mile, right? Einstein's reply was, I don't know. Why should I fill my brain with facts when I can find in 2 minutes in a standard reference book, right? Einstein taught us a big lesson. He felt it was more important to use your mind to think than to use it as a warehouse for facts. One time, Henry Ford, which I don't really fuck with Henry Ford because I don't want to get into it, was involved in a libel suit with the Chicago Tribune. The Tribune had called Ford an enormous and ignoramus, and Ford A man of great respect said, in effect, prove it. The Tribune asked him scores of simple questions, such as who was Benedict Arnold, when was the Revolutionary War fought, and others, most of which Ford, who had little formal education, could not answer. Finally, he became quite exasperated and said, "I don't know the answers to those questions, but I could find in 5 minutes a man who does." Henry Ford was never interested in a miscellaneous information. He knew what every major executive knows. The ability to know how to get information is more important than using the mind as a garage for facts. How much is a man worth? I spent a very interesting evening recently with a friend who is president of a young but rapidly growing manufacturing concern. Uh, the TV set happened to be turning to one of the most popular quiz programs, right? The fellow being quizzed had been on the show for several weeks. He could answer questions in all sorts of subjects, many of which seemed nonsensical. Um, After the fellow answered a particularly odd question, something about the mountain in Argentina, my host looked at me and said, "How much do you think I'd pay that guy to work for me?" "How much?" I asked. "Not a cent over 300. Not per week, not per month, but for life." I've sized him up. That quote unquote expert can't think. He can only memorize. He's just a human encyclopedia. And I figure for $300, I can buy a pretty good set of encyclopedias. In fact, maybe that's too much. 90% of what that guy knows I could find in a $2 almanac. Um, what I want around me, he continued, are people who can solve problems, who can think up ideas, people who can dream and then develop the dream into a practical application, man, um, an idea man can make money with me, and a fact man can't. So 3 ways to cure intelligence excusitis, right? 3 easy ways to, so one, never underestimate your own intelligence and never overestimate the intelligence of others. Don't sell yourself short. Concentrate on your assets. Discover your superior talents. Remember, excuse me, it's not how many brains you've got that matters, rather how many you use, or how you use your brains that counts. Manage your brains instead of worrying about how much IQ you've got. Two, remind yourself several times daily, my attitudes are more important than my intelligence. At work and at home, practice positive attitudes. See the reasons why you can do it and not the reasons why you can't. Develop an I'm winning attitude. Put your intelligence to creative, positive use. Use it to find ways to win, not prove you will lose. Three, remember that the ability to think is of much greater value than the ability to memorize facts. Use your mind to create and develop ideas, to find new and better ways to do things. Ask yourself, am I using my mental ability to make history, or am I using it merely to record history made by others? Three, it's no use. I'm too old. Oh, all right. So this is the third ailment, or it's excusitis disease, right? It's the age excusitis, right? It's no use. I'm too old or too young, right? The failure disease of never being the right age comes in two easily identifiable forms: the I'm too old variety and the I'm too young brand. You've heard hundreds of people of all ages explain their mediocre performance in life something like this: I'm too old or I'm too young to break in now. I can't do what I want to do or am capable of doing because of my age handicap. It's unfortunate. This excuse has closed the door of real opportunity to thousands of individuals. They're they think their age is wrong, so they don't even bother to try. The I'm too old variety is the most common form of age excusitis. This disease is spread in subtle ways. How to handle age excusitis, right? You are only as old as you feel, but I found I was good. Oh yeah, so he was talking to this guy Cecil. He basically was letting him know that you're only as old as you feel. But I found I was getting nowhere with him. Right? Too often people retort with, "But I do feel old." Right? Finally, he discovered a method that worked. One day after a training session, I tried it on Cecil. I said, Cecil, when does a man's productive life begin? He thought a couple of seconds and he answered, oh, when he's 20, about 20, I guess. Okay, I said, now when does a man's productive life end? Cecil answered, well, if he stays in good shape and likes his work, I guess a man's still pretty useful when he's 70 or so. All right, I said. A lot of folks are highly productive after they reach 70, but let's agree with what you've just said. A man's productive years stretch from 20 to 70. That's 50 years in between, or half a century, Cecil. I said, you're 40. How many years of productive life have you spent? 20, he answered. And how many do you have left? 30, he replied. In other words, Cecil, you haven't even reached the halfway point. You've used up only 40% of your productive years. I looked at Cecil and realized he got the point. He was cured of the age excusitis. Cecil saw he had still many opportunity-filled years left. He switched from thinking I'm already old to I'm already or I'm still young. Cecil now realized that how old we are is not important. It's one's attitude towards age that makes it a blessing or a barricade. Curing yourself of age excusitis often opens doors to opportunity that you thought were locked tight. When you lick age excusitis, the natural result is to gain the optimism of youth and feel of youth. When you beat down your fears of age limitations, you add years to your life as well as success. Old age is a failure disease. Defeat it by refusing to let it hold you back. When is a person too young? The I'm too young variety of age excusitis does damage too. Don't be age conscious. Back on the farm, a boy became a man when he proved he could do the work of a man. Second, don't take advantage of your new gold bars. Show respect for the salesman. Ask them for their suggestions. Make them feel they are working for a team captain, not a dictator. Do this, and the men will work with you, not against you. Third, get used to having older persons working for you. Leaders in all fields soon find they are, and he's talking to someone who is doubting himself because he got a position, and all of the people who are working for him are like 20 years older than him, right? Third, get used to having older persons working for you. Leaders in all fields soon find they are younger than many of the people they supervise. So get used to having older men work for you. It will help you a lot in the coming years when even bigger opportunities develop. Age has no real relation to ability unless you convince yourself that years alone will give you the stuff you need to make your mark. Many young people feel that they are being held back because of their youth. Now, it is true that another person in an organization who is insecure and job scared may try to block your way forward using age or some other reason. But the people who really count and really matter in the company will not. They will give you as much responsibility as they feel you can handle. Well, just demonstrate that you have the ability and positive attitudes, and your youthfulness will be considered an advantage. In quick recap, the cure for age excusitis is one, look at your present age positively. Think I'm still young. I'm already old. Practice looking forward to new horizons and gain the enthusiasm and feel in the feel of youth. Two, compute how much productive time you have left. Remember, a person age 30 still has 80% of his productive life ahead of him. In the 50 year in the 50 years old still has a big 40%, the best 40% of his opportunity years left. Life is actually longer than most people think. Three, invest future time in doing what you really want to do. It's only too late when you let your mind go negative and think it's too late. Stop thinking I should have started years ago. That's failure thinking. Instead, think I'm going to start now. My best years are ahead of me. That's the way successful people think. Four, the fourth, um, yeah, the bad luck disease, right? The or excusitis disease. But in my case is different. I attract bad luck. Recently, I heard let's get that story. Wise men throughout the ages have said there's a cause for everything. Nothing happens without a cause. There is nothing accidental about the weather outside today. Yet hardly a day passes that you don't hear someone blame his problems on bad luck. And it's a rare day that you don't hear someone attribute another person's success to good luck. Um, People often dig up all sorts of reasons why people succeed, like, oh, it's just good luck, or pole or bootlicking, or George's wife flatters the boss. Everything but the truth. The facts were that George was simply better qualified. He had been doing a better job. He was working harder. He had more effective personality. People who rise to the top in any occupation, businessman, business management, selling, law, engineering, acting, or what have you, get there because they have superior attitudes and use their good sense in applied hard work. Conquer luck excusitis in two ways. One, accept the law of cause and effect. If you ever read the Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, um, that you'll read that in there. Take a sec to look at what appears to be someone's good luck. You'll find not luck, but preparation, planning, and success producing thinking preceded his good fortune. Take a second, look at what appears to be someone's bad luck. Look, and you'll discover certain specific reasons. Mr. Success receives a setback. He learns and profits, but when Mr. Mediocre loses, he fails to learn. 2. Don't be a wishful thinker. Don't waste your mental muscles dreaming of an effortless way to win success. We don't become successful simply through luck. Success comes from doing those things and mastering those principles that produce success. Don't count on luck for promotions, victories, the good things in life. Simply, luck isn't designed to deliver these good things. Instead, just concentrate on developing those qualities in yourself that will make you a winner. Win and lose is lose, baby. But yeah, that's kind of just should kind of just resonated with me. Figured I'd share it, and it's 4:44 o'clock. Bless up. Anyone want to pop on real quick? Something they learned, something they liked. Add a new.
From what book was that?
The Magic of Thinking Big
Oh shit. Okay.
by David J. Schwartz, PhD.
I gotta read it. I have it.
Do you? Or
Yeah. I'm gonna get into it. Eventually, I need to finish.
chapter?
Oh, can you drop a list of the books in the chat, bro?
What, you want me to drop the 16 books?
Yeah. If,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they're
Absolutely.
already on a PDF,
No, they're not. I don't think they're on a PDF. These ones, but some of them are. Some of them are. Like, see you at the top. Is in that PDF that I sent the other day. I'm sure a few of them are in there, like The Secret maybe. I can't wait to get into this one. This one I'm probably like, I lose my fucking bookmark. Damn. I think I'm at like chapter 12 or something like that, like 13. I'm gonna restart it anyway, but this book's thick. Asking it is given. Good ass book. That's the third one on the list. Second one on the list, I'm pretty sure it was this one right here. And this one, for sure, I saw it in the PDF files. See you at the top, and this book is really, really good. I'm only on page 57, but I'm taking a rest so I can finish up and just do it in order and just be coachable. You know what I mean? I'd be bouncing around too much, fucking lose my mind. Yeah. Anyone want to talk about anything they liked or something out of that book, or anything that doesn't even relate, or anything at all?
it was all good stuff, bro. The whole, like, why do I need to go, why do I need
my head with facts when there's like books out there with all of them.
Mm,
You know, what do you say? Einstein said that.
yeah. Yep. Einstein, Henry Ford.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said that I don't like Henry Ford, I wasn't gonna stop and talk
Yeah, I
about
want to hear that. I want to hear.
I don't like him either, so it's okay.
No, I know. I definitely heard some. I didn't do a lot of research on it, but I definitely heard he was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's also just like one of the people who, like, if you listen to Kevin Trudeau's podcast, Your Wish Is Your Command, he actually talks about it. He's like, he was brought up with violent opposition when bringing out this information to the public from the secret societies. And Henry Ford was one of those people. And he was actually the top person that like actually came out at him and like didn't want that information to be shared because he's just a selfish prick. And you know what I mean, like he just wants to keep all the actual real information that actually matters in this life to himself, how to connect with the universe or your higher power and really achieve anything you want. You know what I mean? Like all the cars that he ever created were first created in his mind. He just brought the vision up and he was provided with the opportunities from God or the universe, whatever you believe in, to go ahead and achieve building a car. You know what I mean? Just like honest to God, like I'll be attracting the craziest things nowadays. Like it's like, I was looking for a way to go about talking about this kind of stuff, and then I decided to start digging in, reading it, and then bam, it was right there. Like everything that I've been thinking about the past like couple weeks, trying to think of like how I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the stuff without sounding like a dumbass. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I don't know if why don't you like Henry Ford, Haley?
Because he was like one of our first fucking dictators.
Facts.
That's all I remember about my honors history class in high school is just how much of a dick this guy was and everything that he just did. Like, he wasn't on the people's side. He was all about him.
Facts.
It was awful. And then literally, if you look at, I did more, research after that because then we started talking about Hitler. But literally, Hitler, Ford was one of Hitler's influences. Which is fucked.
Yeah, Porsche made a lot of cars for Hitler and the Germans.
Yeah.
Nazis.
He helped fund the war.
That just shows you though, like American greed runs deep, That's just like, and I fucking hate Ford. Like Ford, I like Ford sucks. You know what I mean? Like I think their cars are trash. The F-150, the 350, all them things. They're cool,
right.
but like,
Can y'all hear me?
Speaking of
can y'all hear me?
Speaking of Hitler, real quick, Bobby. Speaking of Hitler, there's actually something I learned not too long ago that Barack Obama is Hitler's daughter's son.
Yeah, you said that. It's crazy.
Really?
That is.
How?
I never would have thought of that.
And if you think about it, think about how many countries he's bombed and loaded into and just attacked 7+ countries that he just fucking trooped into and stole oil and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Literally.
He's the real terrorist, but I don't know.
Playing the hero in the media.
Right? Exactly, bro. He's just like Hitler. He's like his grandpa. What's good, Pippin?
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
Fantastic, bro. How you doing?
Fabulous.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect.
Okay, cool. I'm in my car, so doing this
Look at you.
this phone thing. But anyways,
Kids whipping.
yeah, I just wanted to try and take the one thing's for sure is you could tell that what's important, one thing that's so important for this team is that we stay on topic, you know what I mean? And I don't know if anybody else could realize it, but you could see how quickly these discussions can go from positive to negative. And I'm not saying that there was any particular reason or I'm not looking to place blame. I'm just trying to set an understanding for everybody in regards to, you know, Joe is sitting there talking about these notes, and then all of a sudden we're talking about, like, you know, hating people, and you know, I gotta be honest with you guys. It's just quick to see. It's just so obvious that these conversations go left. So it's important that all of us as individuals make sure that we're focused on, you know, staying on subject and staying positive and not using bad words and stuff like that. So, but that's just something that came to my head. But what I wanted to discuss, one thing that I liked that Joe was talking about, is something that Joey actually said that he liked as well, which I appreciate. And it was about
register, right?
and it's about how, you know, are you you know, this isn't, it's not necessarily the greatest term, but, or the greatest analogy, but you know, you think about some of the stuff that people are given as like, or they consider as like their responsibility, like their job or something, and you know, you think about it and you go, okay, you know, I try to figure out a way that I could apply the information that Joe was just speaking about into my own life. So I hear about like not wanting to be a human encyclopedia. I ask myself, am I doing something like that that's producing an efficient result? And I say yes. And I think about my personal life and I go, I don't want to sit there and talk about 10 minutes, you know, hearing someone tell me why they thought a certain way that might not have been the best way. So then you introduce them a better way and they want to tell you, oh no, you know, this is why I thought about it. It's okay. I'm not having that conversation with you, you know? And so that, you know, the information that Joe brings up there is really important, where you have to pick and choose what information you decide and what you're going to focus on or expend energy on a daily basis. And I'm talking about stuff that comes down to like a matter of seconds in your day, guys. It's a great skill to have. And I think Joe, Joe, I didn't even catch what book you said that was, but I definitely need to catch that from you before the end of this call. But I thought that's like, you know, I think that's something that I apply in my life that I find extremely useful. And, you know, it's just something that it's about streamlining, you know, effectiveness in regards to what you decide to entertain in your mind as a room, if you will, you know, whether it be like conversations or, you know, information. You know, I think about trading. You know, trading is just something that we go back to a lot. I've actually been focused on some other stuff lately, but you know, trading, like, we have these people who we introduce the information to, and we say, hey, all I know is this, more or less, and I've been able to be successful off it. And they go, oh, but you know, what is the number between USD CAD? Explain that to me. And it's like, I can't explain that to you. You know why? Because I don't need to know that in order to get me to where I'm going. I don't need to know what the exact mathematical equation that gets us to 1.5 for USD CAD. I don't need to know that to make money to help me, you know, buy a house so I could get my little cousin into a place where there's not fucking cigarette smoke. You know what I mean, guys? So, you know, again, that just, it completely resonates with me when Joe talks about that. And it's so important that you guys are able to take that information that Joe's saying, because there's a lot of technical words. You're talking about a guy from the 1920s, guys. We're in a completely different world now. So the question is, are you able to take that information, apply it to your own life, and make the adjustment that's going to get you to where you want to go at the end of the day? And one thing I really liked is how, you know, I hear Joe talking about that, and I do those exact things, and I'm really happy with my studies at that point. You know, I know that there's obviously a lot more to do in general, but again, just something I really like, something I was applied to my own life, and I was glad to see some other people on the team be able to resonate with something like that as well. So I just figured I'd give my 2 cents. I appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna give the phone back to Captain.
No, I appreciate you, bro. And I actually like what you said about how, you know, we kind of went on to talking about negative things like hating or using the H word. I dislike using that word because it's actually a very negative word. So good call on that. And
you know, it's so easy to say, it's so easy to say, just like when we say taking L's, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. Guys, we could say the same thing about Henry Ford and Hitler. Think about it, you know? Like, you could say, oh, they taught us very valuable lessons. You could still keep it on a positive note. So, again, it's just something good to practice every single day. And I think it's one of the things that sets us, our group, our organization apart from everybody else, is that we're able to make adjustments like that and catch things like that. So, it's important to me. I hope it's important to you guys. And, anyways, go ahead. Continue, Joe.
And yeah, no, you just brought up something in my mind that I typed in the chat. It's just like something that Kevin Trudeau mentions all the time, and it's just like the facts don't count. Like, there's no need to memorize facts or look at what's in front of you and what's on your radar screen all the time, because most of the time it's not gonna be an abundance of money or da da da. But you need to look at it how it can be and how it will be, and have faith in how it will be. Right? It doesn't take money to build your business. You need to figure out ways to learn how to make money to keep building your business. You know what I mean? So if you just keep focusing on lack, focusing on bills, focusing on what you don't have, that's what you're going to continue to attract into your life. But if you focus on abundance and feel like it's already yours, the universe will provide you with opportunities and thoughts and intuition on how to achieve those goals. So figure out what you want, write that shit down like it's done, and create a plan. You know what I mean? Really sit there, talk with your higher power, whatever you believe in, meditate, think on it, visualize it, and you're going to come up with ideas. Write them down, work on it, construct with it, build with it, create with it, So, anyone else got anything to throw in there, or?
Come on, who else, something that they like, something they learn, maybe a question that they have, somebody step up to the plate.
You want to know what's funny? So today, I went to go visit my cousin because he does stocks. So like, he was telling me about like his winnings and stuff. So like I just went over there and I was just talking to him and stuff. And literally we just started talking about like what we need to know and what we don't need to know. So when you started talking about the part where you're reading about how Einstein said, like, I don't need to know that because I could just find that somewhere else in like 5 minutes. I was thinking about that and I was like, literally, like, what if, like, you know how we do like our affirmations and we're like, I am powerful, I am limitless. Like, there's so much part of our brain that we don't use that we could use as storage. So it's like, for like the new skill that we're learning. So like, what if it's like the same thing and you're like saying like I will like form space in my mind to hold like this skill set. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is it that we can't say I will produce more storage in my mind, or I will open up my mind to new beginnings, or I will stretch my mindset? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it works the same for everything else and we're manifesting that shit and we actually see it working, then why is it that we can't do it that way and actually expand our brain to actually use it to its full potential? Like, it's there for a reason. We just don't have access. They say that we don't have access to it, but like, why is that? So it's like, I don't know. It just, something just clicked in my mind. This is just what we were talking about today. So like I just remembered it when you said like, Einstein said, like, we don't need to know that stuff because we can find that easy access now. Like, it's in every text. You can Google it nowadays. Like,
right. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, definitely. You can affirm anything you want in your life, I am are the most powerful words in the universe. I will says I'm gonna get to it, and I don't have a plan, but I am says that shit's already done. You know what I mean? So like anything you want to create in your life, you can affirm that every single morning. Like, I am powerful, I am creative, I am learning this skill set. You know what I mean? I am memorizing what's important to me. I am creating with my thinking mind. Like, you know what I mean? You can really affirm anything you want in your life. I am rich, I am chairman, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am abundant. Right? These are things I write down every single day in my journal. Actually, didn't write down anything yet today because I spent a lot of time reading and going to the gym and stuff. But I'm definitely gonna journal like right when we get off this call. So,
Yeah, I'm almost done.
no, I definitely hear you on that. Anyone else got anything they want to say or something they learned, a question, something they want to add?
Did you drop the name of that book that you were reading off of in the chat?
I'm gonna drop the whole list of 16 books that Kevin Trudeau provided to read in order in the Everyone's Eating chat.
Okay. Perfect.
Right. But I'll make sure I do that right now.
How many people are on it?
7 of us.
Does anybody on here do audiobooks?
Sometimes.
Or
Yeah, sometimes.
read on the computer? Or like read on a tablet or something? Does anybody here not do hardcover books? Does anyone here prefer
Hardcover books are better than anything else. You remember more than reading on your phone, listening to audiobooks. You just retain a whole lot more when you have the actual book in your hands.
Yeah,
but some people aren't going to get anything if they have a book and might get 10% of, that retainment from an audiobook. So they might be better off doing an audiobook, So I'm just saying, while we have a small group of people here.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I have like not deficit disorder, but like I feel like when I'm listening to the audiobook, I feel emotion behind it. Sometimes, I feel like it's explained in a bit like the way, like, because growing up, bro, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I wasn't the best reader. You know what I mean? Like when the teacher called me out in the middle of class, I couldn't read that great. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something that I'm not like proud to to say, but it's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like school. I hated reading out loud. I definitely can dig my head in a couple of chapters in like hardcover or like an article or something like that. But I find myself just throwing those audiobooks on replay and like letting it pass by and then doing it. It's like watching a movie. Like when you watch a movie for the 4th, 5th time, you start picking up little details that you might have missed the last time you watched that movie. So like going back to what Bobby was saying, yes, I find that I do retain a little bit more when I listen to audiobooks. Maybe it's just because of the type of person I am. Maybe it's because I'm more distracted on other shit. I don't really know what it is, but it does resonate for me a bit more.
You know what I noticed, bro, is that when I started smoking weed again, I was like, I couldn't read for shit, bro. I could not read for shit. I couldn't remember nothing. Like, I legit would, like, start, like, reading a paragraph, and I'd be like, yo, fuck this. Like, dead ass.
Yeah.
I forgot what I even read, like, 2 minutes before. You know what I mean? So, like, recently when I started, like, drinking, like, all these supplements that I've been, like, fucking around with, instead of, like, smoking weed, I still be getting the same amount of, like, dopamine, same type of feeling. I'm actually getting a vape right now that, like, you can smoke, like, essential oils. Also, I'm going to get a pipe so I can smoke Cuban tobacco, like organic Cuban tobacco with, like, some kale. I mean, not kale. The fuck am I saying? Some sage. It's like St. John's, like, wort. A bunch of different things that actually, like, kind of give you the same type of feeling without doing the same type of, like, brain. I wouldn't say brain damage, but almost, like, in a way, it raises your vibration, but it also lowers
psychedelic intensity.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel like if we're on this call right now and I was like, just going off the dome, like yesterday when I was doing like the health one, like I would have forgotten half the shit I was supposed to say. I would have stopped in like the middle of many sentences and like completely forgot what I was talking about. That shit used to happen all the time. So like the more you can like wean yourself away from weed, and it's the best to just cold turkey shit. Take it from someone who did massive amounts of drugs, that like the best way to quit anything is just to not fucking do it anymore. You know what I mean? I know it's hard when you have it around you, because trust me, I still have it around me. I know you be doing your thing, I'll be doing my thing. You know what I mean? So like, I still have this stuff around me, but I don't touch it anymore. You know what I mean? It takes that willpower, and it feels good, bro. Like, it really does. And you can start taking shit to the next level when you don't have these little things holding you back. And I know it is hard. Like for me, I hated reading books, bro. But then when I got older, I was like, damn, I kind of want to like get into reading. You know what I mean? Start exercising my mind, learning some new like tactics and learning some new things. You know what I mean? And it's just like when you have the right books, it's just like, especially this one. This one's very easy to read. I found that like compared to like a bunch of other books that I have, like this one's super easy to read. So I'll definitely send the list. And I'll definitely send like we should definitely like hop on a call or something. I know I want to talk to Guy too about like some plant medicines and stuff like that as well. I don't know if like anyone else would be interested in that type of shit, but especially if you're trying to like get off of like drinking or smoking or like just things that are holding you back. You know what I mean? But
we should have a call just on that.
All right, let's do it. Do it. But yeah, now I'm here for y'all. I'm here to help y'all with anything at all. Definitely give me a call at any time of the day. I will answer. If I don't, my phone's probably dead because that shit's always dying. Or you know what I mean? I'm just like in the mix or whatever. You know what I mean?
I know what Hugh's getting for Christmas: a portable charger.
No, I got one. You know what I want though? I want a camera. I want a nice camera.
You want a camera?
Bro, I got
a camera. Everybody write that down.
Yo, if y'all want to take like ill pictures, I got an ill Nikon.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to Boston tomorrow, so
All right.
bring it with. Yeah, we're gonna go to Faneuil Hall, take pictures.
Content day tomorrow, but we just gotta figure out a time. So let's figure that out now. OCD Haley clicking in. Let's go. Pick a time. Let me know.
Love it.
You guys going into Boston right after this storm?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's a challenge. I'm down for it if they're gonna have shit open.
It'll look nice on the tree and stuff like that. A little snow. It's not supposed to snow tomorrow either. I just checked. It should be good.
What?
So what time?
We all agreed on 12 o'clock. That's the time that Brendan dropped in the chat. He made the plan. I think he even pinned it at the top of the chat. Yeah, Culture Day in Boston, 12 o'clock link up.
Okay, so there is a time on there. I didn't see that.
We're going to Faneuil Hall in Boston to grab some content at everyone.
Okay, so Faneuil Hall tomorrow at 12.
Yes, miss.
Y'all have fun without me because I'm at work till 2. I just found out. And I made it. I made it, too. I'm pissed. I'm
all right,
pissed.
then let's go at 2 o'clock then.
Oh, word? I fucking appreciate y'all.
Fuck y'all. I have things to do at nighttime on Sunday.
Oh, my God. All right. Y'all figure that one out. I agree, too. You know what I mean?
How about, ready? Let's do this.
And I'd like to... All right,
ready? So I give the car to Brendan tomorrow. Joe picks me up. Brendan meets us there.
Yep. All right. Let's do it.
Yo, Bob, we should take your truck, bro. You heard me, Bobby? Nah, he's doing it. Okay. Taking Bobby's truck.
SRT.
Yo, that thing rips in the snow, dude.
Hell yeah.
Does.
So tomorrow for 12.
Having it to Lowell one time.
Dude. Oh, yeah, 12. That's right. You made the executive decision. Okay, yeah.
Well, it already said 12 on the thing. That's just what we're going with.
Rivon, where do you work, bro? Where do you work?
Oh, I'm an assistant manager for Burger King.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Grind don't stop. It's even on my days off I work, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
You like working there?
Do I like working? I mean, to be honest, yes, I do. I kind of like work to pretty much keep myself, I guess you say, occupied. I try to, keep all of like the negativity out of my mind and everything else that surrounds me, and I just focus on pretty much my work, family, and that's about it.
Okay, feel you. That's good though. It's good that
Yeah. Oh, I also tried that thing that you were talking about yesterday with taking like the cold shower and everything like that. It actually worked.
Right?
Yes. I was like, what? I was like, there's no way. And like I sat there, I was like, I was cold, like I'm not gonna lie, I was freezing. But then I'm like, I was like, I feel a lot better now.
Facts.
Than how I was before.
Very natural feeling.
Yeah, very. Like, it was just like, it was soothing and relaxing. I'm just like, I sat there, I was like, this was nice. I was like, I like it. I was like, so now now I have to do this more often now.
It reduces stress, it boosts your testosterone. It's called a mammalian diveriflex. And it increases your heart rate variability. So like lowers your heart rate. It allows you to sleep better. You know what I mean? Because you cool your body down, especially if you sleep on your left hand side.
Yeah, because I pretty much work in like a grease trap, so it's just like, I have to sit here and like deal with all this.
Facts. I would hate working at Burger King personally, just because I'm a vegan.
I've been doing this for 4 years of my life.
Damn.
Yeah. I started working for Burger King in like 2016. So yeah. And it's just like with doing this and working and trying to just get my life together, it's just like I'm all over the place, but I managed to do as much as I possibly can, and then just, just relax for a little bit, and then just keep pushing, relax, and just keep pushing. It's like a daily schedule for me.
Well, now we're gonna start working on getting your life in order. We don't try over here. We don't use the T word.
Can't wait. Can't wait on that.
Resisting yourself.
Yeah. Also, there was something that I was meaning to ask you. With the organic stuff that you were talking about, what's the name of it? Because I actually have a friend that does all organic stuff, and I just needed to know like where exactly where you got the organic stuff from.
Whole Foods, all day.
Okay.
Either that or Trader Joe's. I never go to Trader Joe's, but they do have good stuff over there too. Whole Foods, I know where to get my stuff. Like I know like where everything is, and everything's like really cheap, honestly. Like a lot of people think it's like massively expensive, but it's really not. Like I get like bags of pasta for like $1.60. You know what I mean? Like wheat organic pasta. Same thing with the jars of red sauce and stuff like that. Like $1.60. Like everything's like really good price over there, and I just know where to find like all the organic stuff and just all my berries and stuff like that. So were you looking for something like specific?
No, well, it's not for me. Like I said, it's not for me. It's actually for a friend of mine. Because my friend doesn't eat meat, like all vegan, like the whole nine. And pretty much she just needed to find like something organic. So that's why I was asking you if you should, because of the conversation from yesterday. So
Thanks.
okay.
Yeah, definitely always Whole Foods over here. I'm actually about to go there like right now. We hop off this call. I gotta get some berries and stuff for tomorrow and a couple other things. So
yeah, I kind of had to like switch up. I had to switch up like a whole lot of things that like I had to like I had to eat. Like I switched up like a lot. Like I don't really like now. I want to say now half of the stuff that I used to eat, I cut out like completely. Like I'll eat meat, but like I won't eat it like as much.
I mean, that's a good start. You know what I mean?
Like I started, like I was like I sat there and like I really like because like what you were saying with the like with meat and everything, like it just clicked in my head. Like, geez, like gosh, like I can't believe like I'm really eating this. Like this is like really something that us people shouldn't even be doing to begin with.
So true, bro. You should watch What the Health.
Oh, and I was just like, I can't. So I completely cut out meat. I think I started with all of like my fruits and everything. I switched up on that too.
They're organic.
It's a major difference. It's a major difference. Because I feel like with all organic stuff, it's a lot more healthier.
Well, it doesn't have all the pesticides, herbicides, and it's basically fake food. You know what I mean? If it's not non-GMO or organic, you're like basically eating fake food at the end of the day. It's genetically modified, genetically engineered seeds that grow faster, that are just pretty much no nutrients. It's like bland food. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I said yesterday, like you were to go out in Maine and pick a berry, any berry, you know what I mean? Let's say blueberries, because they grow out in Maine all the time, and you ate one of those blueberries, it would be the equivalent of eating 10 cases of organic blueberries, you know what I mean? Because it has to deal with the stress and etc. You know what I mean? So like the closer to nature intended as possible you get, the better everything is for you. You know what I mean? And people don't really need to eat as much as they think they do. It's more like either a stress or depression thing, or they just do it for the flavor, or they just do it just for something to do. You know what I mean? People overeat, and that's why. And the food here is so bad. That's why like literally 80+% of America is obese. So, or dealing with fucking diabetes and cancers and all those types of diseases. So.
Yeah, I just found out, like, I want to say about maybe 5-6 hours ago, I want to say, I just found out, I just got a text from, my mom, one of my great uncle just passed away today. I just found this out, like, and I never knew about it until just now. She texted me saying that he just passed away from cancer, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I can't." I was like, "I can't be dealing with this no more." I was like, "I already had people pass away, and it's like, it's definitely like, it's gonna be hard for me now." But then, like after a while, like I'm just like, you're not suffering anymore. You're in a better place. And it's just like, it's like you just got to be strong and just keep it pushing and just move forward.
My condolences, bro.
Oh, thank you. I'm hurt by it. Like it was like an unexpected thing. Like I was not expecting it at all. But I mean, like I'm okay, but like I'm not like okay. Like I wish like I was a little bit better. But I'm just I'm holding myself up. So
love it, bro.
Yeah.
Head up. Keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Keep your vibrations high, and you know what I mean. Everything happens for a reason. He'll be with you. He'll be your guide. You know what I mean? And now you got angels watching over you. So
yeah.
Sucks. I know, like, my my great aunt as well passed away this year too, and I lost both my grandfathers to cancer this year, and you know what I mean. It's just like it's like a wake up call. It's like you gotta start really.
Cancer is nothing. Yeah, and cancer is nothing to joke around with.
Bro.
It's really it's not.
No,
Like I know people that can like fight it, but like it's like after a while, like you might not know that it's probably there again. Like you never know, but it's it's hard for people to really sit there and actually deal with this. Like like, oh, I have cancer. Like there's nothing that I can really do about it. But then it's like you never know. Like I mean, miracles happen for a reason sometimes, but most of the time, it could be like a stage 3 cancer, stage 4. It's just like you never really know what the whole outcome of it can be.
It's like a double lose in a way, because like you find out you have it, and if it's too far gone, then you die from it. And then it's like if you find out you have it and then you beat it, like in my circumstance, then it's like you constantly just suffer for the rest of your life wondering if it's in your body and you just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty. Yep. Yeah, pretty. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
But
switch up your diet. You won't have to worry. And that's a fact, because it's
oh yeah,
for the most part, like 5%, I think, chance that it can be caused by genetics. You know what I mean? And that's like maybe a couple cells, like cancer cells in your body, that you can diminish by eating proper food that will kill it and bring your body to an alkaline state, because cancer can't live in an alkaline state. And the rest of the 95% is just produced by the food that we eat and the garbage that we're putting in our body that is causing these cancer cells or autoimmune diseases and stuff like that. So that's why I stress so much to like switch up, your appetite. I mean, or your nutrition. I mean, start really investing into it and actually spending that extra little bit of money to eat the right types of foods and things that are anti-cancer properties and antiviral properties and stuff like that. If y'all watch like my podcast, no, my podcast.
Soon to be.
Yeah. The YouTube video I posted yesterday about health as well. I get pretty deep into it, and but for the most part, I would suggest y'all watch What the Health and The Game Changers. It's on Netflix. Obviously, most of us, I'm sure, have Netflix. And it's just really good information. You know what I mean? It's just information that's going to help you, and it's just good to know as well. Everyone should know about, but most of the masses are asleep to really what we put into our body. So
yeah.
All right, family. I love y'all. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 12. And have a blessed night. Sleep well. Catch you later.
Adios. All right. Well, we get it off right there.
I would love to sleep well, but I can't. I have to pretty much sleep as soon as I get home. I have to be at work at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh. Yep. 5 o'clock in the morning. But yeah. Also, there was something else that I wanted to ask you. I already did I just didn't do the other hold on. But what was I about to say? But yeah, no. With the whole organic, stuff. Is there like certain like brands that like you use?
For the most part, I grab like all. I mean, for the berries, you know what I mean? The berries, I just do like, whatever they have that's organic there. Sometimes the brands switch up or sometimes they're the same. But I just go for the organic fruits, grapes, the berries, the bananas, all organic, sometimes watermelon. All my vegetables, all organic. Sometimes I make some soup, some fire-ass vegetable soup, organic broth, organic, celery, organic, some peppers sometimes, like cayenne pepper I'll throw in there sometime. The wheat pasta, the penny or whatever the hell it's called. And then it's just some fire ass spicy vegetable soup and with some protein and carbs in it. You know what I mean? Because pasta is like 30
Okay.
grams of protein per box. And massive amounts of carbs. And carbs is really what's going to build your muscles at the end of the day. Not protein. That's another misconception that people have about
Oh,
protein.
I hate that. I hate that. And I realized it too because with me, I'm tall. Like I'm tall and skinny. So I sit here and I'm thinking everyone says that, oh, protein's the way to go. Like, protein's gonna help you. But then I think someone told me that it's not protein, that it's mostly like carbs.
Yep, exactly. I mean, protein is a key factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not as
It's not as effective.
Because carbs at the end of the day, like pretty much turn into proteins as well, like sugars and stuff like that.
That wasn't from. I think those were the morning ones.
But yeah, for anyone who is looking to do some fasting, because fasting literally boots out any virus cells, cancer cells, just dirty cells in your body, but is scared about losing muscle mass from not eating and only drinking water. I would suggest you go to keon.com and you got some of the organic coffee and these supplements right here. These supplements, they don't break your fast, and it's all the amino acids that you need to rebuild your muscles while not having to eat food, so it doesn't break your fast, and it pretty much boots out all the bad cells in your body. It's literally it says right here, no binders, fillers, steroids, coating or dyes, stored in a cool, dry place, non-GMO, it's vegan, gluten-free, and soy-free. So it literally breaks none of your fast, and has 99% of the amino acids.
I'll have to give it a shot.
There's multiple other things that you can do as well to protect your health and do some biohacking and stuff like that, plant medicines and different things. So we'll definitely talk on some other topics as well, coming up very soon. I know that tomorrow we're going to be in Boston. I don't know if I'm going to do a call tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it from my car or something like that. I don't even know. We'll just do whatever feels right, depending on what time we get there, what's going on, so but I'll definitely keep everyone in the loop on whether or not I'm going to cancel the call. But I'm working on just keeping it consistent, keeping it going. So there's a lot of information out there, a lot of information that can be shared that can help people in multiple ways. So I'm gonna keep it going. But yeah, I appreciate y'all hopping on here. I'm about to go make some food. I'm starving. I just crushed it at the gym an hour and a half ago, and yeah, about to get some pasta going. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and let's keep going. Let's keep grinding, staying positive, keep thinking, and thinking your way into success, creating, and let's get it. Peace out, fam.